Folks, how you doing today? How you doing? How you doing? We got a great show. I'm Jay Works. This is the podcast Street Savvy. Like we told you guys several weeks ago, we are bringing on our tradition, which is our clothing line PD code, which you see me from head to toe. It's a hat, it's a shirt, t-shirts, sweatsuits, marknet, turtlenecks, velvet shoots, you name it. We got everything we doing out here. We selling it, socks. You get us on Spotify and on our website, pdcodeclothingapparel.com. We got a great show for you tonight, folks. We want you guys to step in and charm. And we got several things we want to do. We want to say, we want to get out there. All my folks out there in TV land and who's streaming. Yes. How you doing, folks? Yeah. We got a great topic for you tonight, as well as we got some sports news, some NBA games going on as we speak. We got a great topic. The topic is, do your family hate on you and why? That's a great topic. Real great topic. And we can recap some stories. So today is Wednesday. And we're going to do what's trending. Okay, start off with sports. NBA games today. Actually, in the third quarter, the Hornets against the Pacers. The Pacers are beating the Hornets in the third quarter with 7:28 to go, 84-69. The Nuggets are winning over the Toronto Raptors, 61-44. The Hawks in the first half is 31-22 over the Rockets. And the Jazz, 77-75 in the middle of the third quarter. And the New York Knicks, 52-44 over the Brooklyn Nets. And LA Lakers, first quarter, the end of the first quarter, 17-26 on the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls is beating Lakers in the first half. Okay. And my Celtics is the late cap game against Sacramento. So, folks, I hope you enjoy your games for tonight. Okay. News of the day, actually. We reported it. We reported to you early in the week. We reported to you about a lot of males. A lot of males since 2021 has been complaining across the country as well about the health field failing them. Since 2021, and as well, it's been almost 70% of males feel like, hey, the doctors, the healthcare position, it's not been there for them. It's not prescribing us the right medicine in the Black and brown community as well. When we go there, they're telling us we got to go somewhere else for a specialist, or we got this wrong with us instead of checking for the things that we came in for. That leads folks up to a lot of different things. So that leads folks are not trusting. They're not trusting the healthcare department, the healthcare physicians at all. So that's a big thing in America, folks, today, man. A lot of us Black and brown community don't trust anyone. We think a lot of these doctors, as well as nurse practitioners, are very biased in a way that saying that, hey, we need to know these folks. They don't have too much insurance, or because they Black and brown. So we don't know. And the majority of that question leads to how over the years have we been treated? As far as the medical field, as far as us getting treated just for a headache, we go to doctors and they tell us something else. Tell us a cold, a flu, and lately it's been COVID instead of a bad flu. So folks, look out for that, and we're going to keep reporting that story till we get down to the bottom of it. And another factual in the United States is suicide. Suicide's been up for years, folks. In the last 20 years, it's been up 22 to 30%. And since 2001, in males have died suicide rate 3.90% times more, 3 times more than the average woman, which is 132%, 132 suicide. So suicide contempt between white and blacks is a margin with that. And it's crazy. Suicide at all is crazy. Now, along white males accountable for 68% on the suicide death since 2021. And firearms since 2021 as well. Firearms account for 54.64% of all suicide deaths. Folks, I don't know what's going on in your life. I got a lot of loved ones. A lot of people who love me, a lot of fans, a lot of people who go out and buy my merch, a lot of people listen to me on my podcast, Street Savvy as well, and people out as business partners of mine, as far as things I do in upstate New York. And when I go home to Boston, I'm a family man. I'm huge on supporting my folks. Why would I want to take my life? Why would you want to anybody want to take their life or anything? And I know things are hard. Bills are hard. Situational things is hard in America, in life, in our urban neighborhoods. Things is really hard out there. But why would you want to take your life from your folks? You know, when you take your life, you're not just killing yourself. You're killing your family. You're killing people who love you, people who want to love you, people who are always cared about you, especially your kids, your wife, you know, and your mothers, your aunts, nieces and nephews who really respect you, you know, even though you just might be someone that everybody else shies away from because you have different terminology. You stay away. You stay away from the bull. You don't get involved in none of the nonsense, and you stay working all the time. That don't mean they don't love you more, no more, less, or no even much more than that. If anything, you have the means to hurt someone else. Talk to somebody. Talk to a best friend. Talk to an ex-girlfriend. Talk to a wife, a brother, sister. Talk to a friend, a neighbor. Talk to somebody you worship, or you look up to before you end up harming yourself. Don't talk to that glass bottle. Don't talk to that liquor. Don't talk to that weed. Talk to somebody physically about the things you feeling and emotions, how you feeling today. You know, and listen, it's ways of getting through it. I promise you, it's ways of getting through life than harming yourself with someone else. They say suicide is cowardly. To me, I say it's sickness. It's a sickness in a person. You get help from a sickness because it's only one sickness. I don't believe in all them other sicknesses. It's only one. And mucus is behind that. You know, mucus is behind that. You know, and that's another subject. But when it's mental illness plays a whole part in suicide. Suicide attempts, suicide issues. And let me tell you the number one thing. And this is my opinion, and who am I? I'm just a guy with great opinions and speak on it. When a person's going to commit suicide, they're not going to tell you. He or she, young or older, is not going to tell you. They are not going to tell you they're going to hurt themselves. You know, but when somebody's reaching out, they're telling you. They're showing you signs. When somebody needs help, they're showing you. You know, they're doing drastic things. They're going on social media saying things that they never said. And us as people who's family to these people or friends, we should keep our eyes on that because they becomes more of an issue to us in society who loves them than anything else. And our people feel like they ain't getting help and by listening because sometimes the people who ain't weird or ain't not acting weird are the ones who ain't paying attention, folks. And so that burden of a barrier comes on us when we're not paying attention to these folks who's reaching out. You know, who's reaching out for help, who said, hey, listen, I need it. I need someone to talk to. These bills, these kids, this job, my girlfriend, my wife. You know? Or it's just pressure. Pressure is built up in a long, active ways of things, folks, that you wouldn't even imagine. So when it gets to that, you don't know how to treat it. You don't know who to talk to. You don't know where to go. So it's the edge we go to. Either we don't want to remember, either we don't want to hear it, either we don't want to see it. And we start either suggesting the way out is not being here no more, not being with our family, not being with our kids, not being with our loved ones. You know, I done seen Some of the richest people, some of the poorest people, some of the most beautiful people commit suicide. You know, it's a sad thing when we can't help you when we right next to you. And they call that depression, mental depression. They call that being in a house. Don't want to be with no one else. They got all the names for it. But what I call it is reaching out for help. Because all those things we talk about, oh, they being weird. Oh, look at little Michael, Jeff Brown. Look how they acting weird in the street with a gun. Now, in our black community, because I'm going to call, let me get this, go back to cultural. Cultural and not helping is this. We see someone in the street we know walk around with a gun, playing with it, dancing. We know he just tripping. He crazy. He tripping. We all do it. But it's always that one person in the community, like, I'm calling somebody. He need help. That boy gonna kill somebody. We're gonna kill himself. You know what we do, folks? In the black community, in the black and brown community, we shut her down. Nah, leave it on. We call no cops on nobody. Don't do that. He'll be all right. He tripping right now. That's what we wrong at. That's where we wrong at, black folk. Because when you see a person out there like that, you call in anybody to help them out. You helping them. Because then what they doing is reaching out for help. That's what they doing. Now you got to think in the white community. We all done seen it. Look at these schools. We done seen it. In the white community, majority of the communities, they tell it. And to somebody in their house personally, and we hear it later. Oh yeah, he had mental issues. He was alone. He always killed animals. He was really harsh towards animals. He didn't get along with blacks, or he didn't get along with his neighbor, little Billy, who was a little light darker than him. We hear it. I mean, they speak on it. They call somebody unless it's somebody personal to them. So what makes us different from them? None. If you didn't call on your personal people, why you calling on somebody you don't know? That's double standard. So that's a story we were recapping as far as what we did last week is suicide in the black and brown community, vaguely over mental health. But leading to our topic of the day. Our topic of the day. Do family members hate on you and why? Lord help me, folks. Lord help me, folks. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, folks. Family members always going to have something to say, and they going to love you. And they always going to have something to say. But let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you something. I just told one of my constituents earlier this week. I told him earlier this week, I said, listen here. I don't give two craps what anyone says about me, Manoir, Jay Works. Because at the end of the day, Jerry Sr. and Elaine had me. They made me in them early years of the 70s. They placed me on this earth. They birthed me. God gave me to them. So anything else is uncivilized. And it goes to family members. Yeah, you born and raised around them, but you don't got to deal with them. You don't got to sleep with them. You don't got to eat with them. You definitely don't got to break bread or do business with them, no matter what levels you are in life. Because people are going to talk. They talked about Jesus. They talk about Jesus today. He's been gone a billion years. And I know it hurts when it comes to family. I know it hurts. I know it crosses you. I know you look at them sideways. Let me tell you something. When family do it to you, you got to know how to block them out too. You got to know how to let them know, I know what you're doing. I know what you said, but I love you, but I ain't going to do it with you. I don't got to deal with you. I'm not here to deal with you. You family by blood, but sometimes mud and water is thicker than blood, if you know what I mean. You know, I'm fortunately, I don't heard the whispers of family. You know, I got a family member. Anytime I come around, somebody says something good about me, he chuckles. I look at that nigga. Excuse my language. I look at that brother, knucklehead. That's what I think about him. That's what I think about him. Because he ain't doing what I'm doing. And then I ain't mad at somebody else who don't know me or who ain't doing what I'm doing or who hating on it. I want haters to hate on Jay Works. I want haters to hate on PD Cole. I'm looking good in this, and I did this. Not I, but we did this. They're part of this conglomerate. Jay Works Entertainment, PD Cole, Street Savvy. And the other adventures I stick my nose into with no money. I'm not counting another man's pocket, and damn sure I'm not counting family, because family supposed to be family. Let me tell you something where I grew up at. I grew up in Boston, Massachusetts, Roxbury, Mass, Orchard Park Projects. It was a lot of families in there. A lot of families. Let me tell you one thing we all had in common. We didn't take no bull. We didn't take no bull. I'm going to tell you that. And you learn in Orchard Park, either break you or make you. It was points when people didn't like my family in the projects. They talked about everything we did. And we wasn't doing nothing. Talk about a house, talk about how we looked. But I had two parents that worked. My father worked more than anybody's parents I know in the project, except for the ones in my building. Mr. Joe. Love you, Mr. Joe. Love you, Mr. Adams. Love you, Mr. Williams. There's probably a few names I don't. But it was one person that stuck out to me. Her name was Miss Ross. She was an elderly woman that wasn't born around me or raised around me. I'm fortunate to be around her in her later years in life. And she called me Petey, which nobody in Syracuse know what Petey means unless you family. I mean, not Syracuse, excuse me, Boston. This older woman was every bit of everybody's grandmother in my neighborhood. And I loved her for that. And there was no hate. It was even no gratulate either. It was peace and love with this older woman. There was other older women there too, around us. Martha Ann, Bundy and Tweet's mother, Desiree and Tony's mother, Auntie Mary, Miss Olivera, Freddie and Tara and Dee Dee's mom, Miss Edwards. People of that nature was people who didn't, the Holmans, my neighbors for years. And all the Spanish families, I don't know their names, and Carlos McCarter, good friend of the family, a brother of mine. Julio and Glace, two brothers. Rest in peace, Glace. But my projects taught us the value of everything. Hating, love, all that. But they didn't go for the bull. And I say this with all glory and word. That project since day one. My best friend, one of my best friends in Boston, female, Miss Hannah, we fought. As soon as I moved to Boston, as soon as I left Syracuse, New York, January 20th, mid-80s. Never forget it. We fought. Miss Randolph, another one of my friends, one of my sister friends, we fought. Miss Fonseca. We fought. We best friends today, folks. Our kids are friends. Our grandkids are friends. Actually, one of my friends, we went to several proms. We both had kids in high school. So that's how much love Roxbury had for me and mine, and still do today. My children are there. My grandchildren are there. It was a family thing. And you know when family didn't speak to you, you know what it was. You didn't speak to them. It ain't no glorifying in that. Family always going to be there, but family going to always talk too. And sometimes you got to delete. Sometimes you got to block. I got family members I block all the time or don't speak to. Got nothing against them. Like I said earlier, I got a family member here in my city. Every time they say something good about me, he chuckles. He chuckles. And I laugh at him. I do it right back. Because I don't even want to know what it's for. I just know what I do for mine. And I guess, folks, what I'm trying to say, either family or friends or somebody you don't know hate, you got to take that with a smile. Because I know it hurts as family. People, you feel like, oh, we grew up together. No, we came out the same womb or the bloodline. Or no, that don't make nothing. That don't mean a damn thing today in society. Family trying to get places anyways. Above you, around you, over you, or through you. It'll take that couple dollars to do something to you. Family is bogus sometimes. I got friends that I've been friends with all my life, and we like brothers, and we like sisters. But I tell you, works a lot familiar in my house. Me and my brothers and sisters fought like cats and dogs when we were younger, but I dare somebody to play with one of them today or tomorrow. I dare someone play with one of mine. One of my siblings today or tomorrow is a problem. That's how we raise. But do they feel like that about me? Try it. See if they do. And I got cousins, as kids, we grew up as sisters and brothers. We're not the same today. We are not the same today. Some I don't even speak to. Some I don't even see. Some don't even know me. And that's fine with me. Again, I got friends who I know since I was a child, and those are my family members. Those are my cousins. And we are human beings with each other. And we use that word family frequently. I got a lot of white nieces and nephews. A bunch of them. A lot of Puerto Ricans too. And that's one thing I know. I don't put no number. I don't put no count on my friends or family members. I know they're family to me. I know an older person told me one time, he said, you'll know when a person's racist or biased or ignorant. What you mean, Pop? He said, let me tell you something. Whenever you got to count your friends, you got a lot of agency in that conversation. If you're a certain ethnic background or color or creed, your race is counting them. You shouldn't count nobody who loves and respects you and call you whatever, as long as they loving you. You should have the count. And I heard him. I didn't take nothing for granted because I'm always listening to older folks. But I tell you, folks, when it comes to family, it's not about letting up. It's not about helping. It's about respecting like anyone else. Honestly. Family's always going to be there regardless to talk about you, to look out for you, to treat you well, to go behind your back, and in certain cases, hurt you. In certain cases, hurt you. In my house today, I can call anybody in my house. They'll tell you, we ain't playing that. Visitors unannounced. Nobody pulling up, asking for no rides. We ask for rides. We ain't getting no one's car. We ain't borrowing nothing. We ain't going half on nothing. Anything. We're keeping it straight cordial with the people in the house and people outside our door. And it's a level to everything. I learned that from my dad, who was open arms to all friends and family to a certain degree. But when he got tired, he'd come around me. But I'm not even going to go that far. I'm not going to go that far. I'm just not going to get involved. I got families of families on here in New York State and in Boston. I ain't bringing it in my crib. I ain't bringing, how y'all young folks said, I ain't bringing it to my home. My casa mi mondao, we ain't doing that. We ain't hanging in the man club, man cave. We ain't hanging in my living room. We ain't coming to the studio. We don't do that. You may say, that's mean, that ain't right. People do it to you. Well, that's what they do. If they choose to invite me and my family over, that's still what their choice is. But my choice is different. Now I'm inviting people. Don't get it twisted. I'm not crazy. I'm not stuck on shadow. I'm stuck on what I got to do and build for minds. Mental and generational wealth. And to keep that sobriety about yourself and your family, you got to maintain some wellness. Maintain all y'all well before you start inviting people in y'all circles. And that's the truth, folks. I'm not going to step on toes when there ain't no toes to be stepped on. I'm not going to call on you when I don't need to call on you. Because some folks you call on, they ain't really go answer or pick up anyways. Or they have an excuse. So in my opinion, I'd rather deal and build what I have with me. Generational wealth and health is everything. And if my family decide to deal with me, so be it. I'm with it. I tell you guys, my father came in town. One of my younger cousins, one of my cousin's sons, his untimely demise was this past week. And Dad came up for the funeral. He spoke well. He spoke on family. He spoke, hey, Mr. Brimley, my brother-in-law hopped on. My father spoke on his brother not being here, but he's being here for his niece. And that was one of the biggest things. That's one of the biggest things that mattered to me, besides for Quran not being here with us. And my father displayed that. Hey, my wife, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Love you as well. And just to see all the family members that was at my cousin's funeral on both sides, his mom and his dad's side, made me feel real well. What's going on, Gemini? What's up, Miss Brown? It was a great thing to see, even though I don't want to see none of them folks at a funeral. But they came out for Quran. It was blessed to see my dad did speak, who my dad don't even play that. You know? And just to tell you guys that story, family is supposed to be there on situations like that and more and beyond. But when they don't, it's not the shun, it's not the disrespect, it's to leave them alone. They may not want to be bothered. They may not be the outgoing person you are. But some family members, you don't need to deal with them as well as they don't need to deal with you. I got a best friend. I was getting on about this bubble, she said. I got this bubble, works, kids, family, I don't care. I block them. I said, girl, that ain't right. You don't do your family like that. But as me growing to see this woman grow in her wealth, in her health, I see why she blocked kids, family members, husbands, exes, cousins, you name it. Because sometimes family can be your worst enemy behind your back and beside you. You get that? Because family supposed to be family, not Hamley. Not Hamley. Not hardly either. You're not there to hurt me. You need to love me. But when I feel like family's trying to hurt me, it's time to block them. Block, block, block. Because I don't even both of us getting me in evil. I'm not gonna let nobody hurt me. You can talk about me all you want. Family, friends, or whoever. But family usually be the ones who do it to you more than anybody. More than anybody in the streets. For instance, I got this guy. He's on my live. Love you, Gemini. I'm about to speak on you. He's one of my street nephews. No bull. He'll tell you this thing. He loves his uncle. And I've been on him from parenting to work to how he carry himself to everything he come to me with a conversation. I rebuttal. And he always say, yo, Uncle, I would never play you. I would never bring nothing to the club. He give it to me back. Every time I go to check him a little harder, he give it to Uncle, I would never do that. That's family to me. When a man go out his way to say, man, I ain't gonna hurt, I would never, I'm for you. If I'm doing something, I'm with you. And he know I got a job because he done been in my job. He done been in the same limelight. He don't work side by side with me. But it's the respect that someone who's water and mud respect me more than blood do sometimes or some occasions. You got to get that up. My brother-in-law, Big, Randy, same thing. Known him since he was 11, 13 years old. Known him. We have a relationship that people don't have with brother-in-laws or someone else don't have the same last name as you. He's been respecting me the same way since he was. Hey, Colette, hey, sister. Since he was a young boy. You know, I got a Spanish brother who's been my business partner over almost 20 years. 20 years. From clubs to businesses to clubs to you name it. To ventures. To ideas. To having that man conversation. Let me tell you a story. My brother Ortiz. It's my brother. Fallout, whatever, that's my brother. And that's from water and mud. And I stir it up and it comes out Ortiz. I got sick with COVID. 2020. And I worked several jobs. I didn't blame nobody. I was one of the first brothers anybody can ever know who caught COVID. I was 8th member in Onondaga County. I called my brother. I said, yo, bro, I'm sick. Got COVID. He says, oh, man. He says, oh, man, bro. Yo, you good? Is Maurice going to take care of you? Talking about the guy we working for. I said, yo, right now, bro, I can't worry about that. I was sick as hell. He said, no, bro, I got you. I got you. Yo, he made wonders. I'm going to leave it at that. I told him how embarrassed and hurt I was when the sheriffs came to my door during COVID. They bring you documents. They go, listen, anyone in your family, kids, wife, spouse, whatever, brother, sister, if they're in your family, they're in your house, and one of you guys got COVID, you guys cannot come out to 21 to 24 days until you get tested 5 days in a row with a temperature up on the 98.6. I think 97.6, 98.7. I told him that. I said, yo, bro, that's the most embarrassing thing ever. My babies was scared. My wife was with it, though. I ain't leaving your side. I'm like, you got to stay downstairs, Keish. My babies cried. You understand? And this Puerto Rican, Ortiz, every day on that phone. And then, months later, he caught it. Months later, my brother caught it. And I was on it. Yo, bro, you got to do this. Take them steam baths. You got to do this. Keep the warm fluids in you. You know, call me if anything. Keep God, keep them prayers on you. And you're going to whoop it. Every day, I call that man. I called another man, which is my brother. I called him. Every day. That's family. When my dad got sick with COVID and had heart issues, my Spanish brother said, listen, what's up? What you want to do? Catch a flight? You want to drive? What's up? We over there in Boston. I said, no, bro, I got this. He said, you sure? I said, bro, I got it. Thank you. So what I mean by family, you guys, not just the ones who blood from you, the ones who's in mud and water, you can stir it up and they come out almost red like blood. I'm trying to tell you something. Because not all family gonna be real to you. Not all family gonna keep it 100 with you. But I'm saying that you folks, keep it 100 with yourself and your immediate family around you. That's all you need, because everybody gonna talk about you. A lot of folks want to be you. But you keep that same energy as that person you are, and you're gonna be all right. Never fight fuel with fire. Because family can be that fire. Because you know you got the ones who love you. We ain't worried about them. It's the ones who hate on you. You got to smile at them. I got a nephew out there. We call him E. One of my street nephews. Same way. Same way. Conversation, kids, family, work, businesses, uplifting himself. He hollered at his uncle. If I'm upset at something going on at one of the spots I'm working at, and the times we done worked in the past, he, your uncle, don't do that. It ain't worth it. But calm down. Don't lose what you got. We got this. That's family. I got a dude. He's my cousin and my brother with no blood. Man, we've been in the mud and the dirt since we was 7 and 6. And we night and day. Light and dark. We done grown into our 40s and the 50s now. It's a long time. That's a long time. As far as my immediate brothers, that's all I got. GQ, Baby Boy, Reese, Gerald, Tamika, Tasha, and Taisha. We all we got. We all we got. And Elaine and Jerry, those are my hearts right there. And Keisha and these kids, hey, somebody will remember you. If it ain't family, you don't need to worry about it. God bless you, folks. Thanks for tuning in to a great podcast moment with George Truly, Jay Works, the host of Street Savvy. And folks, again, I hope you enjoyed this lively moment. Contents from this mind and this brain, and from the host that holds the most and brings all the smoke. Jay Works, folks. Thank you for listening. Please leave a comment. Please share, like, and subscribe. Thank you. I love you too, sister. I love you, Colette. Love all of y'all. Love you, Keish. Love you, Gemini. It's what it is. I'm going to give y'all the Sammy Sosa. We out. Love you, America. Love you.